Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Princess Beyond Passions. My name is Princess. About 2 or 3 years ago, I embarked on a campaign against domestic abuse. It goes by different names, but for the purpose of this video, let's stick with domestic abuse. I uploaded a series of videos. The links are in the description below. I told you then that I will come back to this topic. I have a video here today that has a dialogue about domestic abuse or domestic violence. Within these past 3 years, you'd agree with me that a lot has happened when it comes to that department. We have heard about people terminating their partners based on domestic violence and people being deleted as a result of domestic abuse. If you are in one relationship that is abusive, my question is always the same. And this is the one question that I always ask. Why are you in that relationship? After that, I'm going to ask you another one. Did you see the red flags before you went into that relationship? Sometimes you might not see the red flags. Sometimes the red flags are so very well camouflaged to an extent that domestic violence or domestic abuse does not come up in that marriage until at a very later age, until that marriage or that relationship is at a very, later stage, right? Say in the future. Sometimes it could take 8 years, it could take 10 years to show up. Sometimes 5 years, sometimes 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, or sometimes it could just show up as soon as you get married or as soon as you get into that relationship. Sometimes it shows up on your wedding night, and sometimes it shows up while you are dating. But the thing is, it shows up. Somehow the red flags are always there. Somehow the red flags are there. Likewise, for people who complain that their husbands are cheating, that their husbands cheat on them. I mean, the red flags are always there before you get married. But because you want to get into this relationship and you want to get married, and most times you close your eyes to the red flags. In this video, I'll present you with a dialogue. You'll be able to have insight into why some women decide to stay back in an abusive relationship or abusive marriage. But before I present this video, I'd like to say, if you like this video, if you like what we're doing, please give this video a thumb up. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, smash that subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell to all so you'll be updated with my new uploads. I'd like to say thanks to all my channel members and my returning subscribers and my returning viewers. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much, and thanks for watching this video. Please stay tuned for this one.
I'm tired of my marriage, but I can't divorce my husband. I just can't.
Why are you tired of your marriage?
My husband is aggressive, very violent.
Has it always been like this?
Yes, but it wasn't pronounced before I got married to him
Why don't you want to divorce him?
because my faith does not allow it. I mean, I'm a Christian and I have a lot of people looking up to me. I can't divorce my husband. What will I tell them?
You will tell them that your husband wants to kill you, and that's why you're leaving.
I cannot wash my dirty linen in the public. That's my husband.
Your dirty linen. You don't even have a linen. If you have a husband who is violent to you, violent to the kids for 11 years, you don't have a husband?
That's heavy.
Let me tell you something about God that I think you don't understand. God will suspend his law to save a life. Even Jesus Christ said the same thing. His disciples were eating the ears of corn on a Sabbath. And the Pharisees said, this is not lawful. He gave them the example of David. David was running for his life when Saul wanted to kill him. And then he got to a place. For 3 days, he did not eat. His people that were with him did not eat. And they got to the temple, and the priest saw that these guys were hungry. He gave David the showbread to eat. If anybody ate it, he will die. David didn't die.
Come to think of it, that's true.
He ate the showbread and he lived. God suspended his law. Do you think God is happy that you are being beaten and battered in that marriage?
That is an excellent question for everyone in an abusive relationship or marriage to respond to.
That's not his will for you.
I know that is not his will for me, but can't I pray God's will for me?
You can pray, but in a safe place. You are not safe in that house. You need to get out of that environment before he kills you. Separate from him. You may not divorce immediately. He doesn't have to end the divorce. You don't pray where there's violence. He could kill you while you're praying.
A lot of people look up to me. What would they say?
Excuse me. We are always mindful of people's approval over our personal lives, to a point whereby we injure ourselves, injure our hearts, injure our lives. In any case, whatever comes out of this, people will still talk. God forbid, if you die in this marriage, they will still talk. If you leave the marriage, they will talk. If you stay in the marriage, you think they don't know, you think some of them don't know. You come out of the house with bruises, you go to work, you tell them lies, you think they don't know.
We see some of these things and we ask questions, and they tell us, oh, I had an accident, a domestic accident. Anyways, let's continue.
You think you can hide these things from people? You look lean. You try to wear makeup to make yourself happy. You think they don't know? Whichever way you look at it, whichever direction, people will talk. God is not a demon. God does not want you to die unnecessary death. There's a lot in your life to achieve. Don't let a man cut short your life because of the law. There are options to take in life. At the end of the day, 2 options. Divorce, it's hard, or die. The dead cannot achieve anything more in life, but the divorcee can still achieve a lot in life.
See, I like the conclusion of that video. At the end of the day, you are left with 2 options: divorce or die. If you divorce, you are still alive to tell your story, although some people never get to tell their stories because they lack the boldness, or they are so broken they are not able to talk about what happened to them. Or die. And you see, that last option, when you are no more existing on this plane, how are you going to be able to hold that marriage or hold that relationship that you so crave to be in? A living dog is better than a dead lion. What can a dead lion achieve? Absolutely nothing. But a living dog can still achieve much. Really, the options are yours to pick from. Get out of that relationship, or you die in it. Truth be told, and that is the bitter truth. And you know, there are people who have given up. Like I said, there are people who have been killed in their marriages. There are people who have died in their marriages. There are people who have been maimed. They have been so battered to the extent that they have been maimed, they have been disfigured. There's a video I brought you some time ago in my channel where I told a story of this woman who was beaten and one of her arms had been, damaged by her husband. She was taken to the hospital unconscious because the husband had beaten her to a pulp. And when she got out of that and she woke up from her unconsciousness, she made up her mind she wasn't going to return to that home. She fought and she ran away. She survived it. But that's her story. She survived it with damaged arm, with broken head and all that stuff. But there are people who were not so lucky because they gave up in that marriage. And because they chose to stay there, the choice is yours to make. Because you chose that marriage, right? And you chose to stay in it even though you are being battered. Whatever happens to you, you will give account of your own life in the end. It wouldn't be anybody's fault. It will be your own fault just because you decided to stay back. It's the bitter truth. Anyways, leave me comments in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And I'll see you in my next video that appears anywhere around the screen.